Hi everyone, this is Mike with a video about getting started in our class this semester. I'm going to spend a few minutes going over some of the main things you'll find in Blackboard, in our Blackboard course, and then I'm going to show you a few of the highlights of our materials that are located in MyOpenMath. So if you're logged into Blackboard, you should see your courses on the main front screen here. And our course in particular is the Math 210 470, so you can click on that course and you will be taken to this page. And this page will show announcements. As I send announcements, I'll really only send an announcement in the first few days. I'll send a couple of announcements through Blackboard, and then after that I'll actually be sending you information through MyOpenMath. So you'll want to make sure you're looking in MyOpenMath on a regular basis. The first place you want to go when you are in Blackboard is to the Start Here menu. And in the Start Here menu, you'll find numerous resources. First is just a brief welcome message, and then a copy of the welcome video that I sent to you in the original email. And so you can watch that video here in case you want to brush up on anything in particular I said there. There's a note here about the fact that Blackboard is primarily for office hours. And so although we are launching the course in Blackboard, you should be spending most of your time in MyOpenMath, and I'll show you around that site in just a few minutes. But if you want to connect with me during virtual office hours, then I will show you how to do that. And that actually is the main thing that we're going to use Blackboard for. There's some information here about getting started in MyOpenMath. You will need this course ID here, 36490, and you will need the enrollment key as well. These are two pieces of information you'll want to use when you register or enroll in MyOpenMath. There are some notes here about netiquette policy, which I'll let you read on your own, minimum technology requirements, and minimum skills that you'll need throughout the course, so you should read through those carefully. Next in the menu, again, the announcements will be there, but there will only be a few of those early on in the course. In the My Instructor portion of Blackboard, you'll see a picture of me and some basic information about my office hours and how to contact me. Here's some information about me personally, and then some links about emailing me and meeting me during virtual office hours. Related to virtual office hours, there's also a link here in the Blackboard menu. And so if you click on virtual office hours, you'll be taken to this page. And here you'll want to go to the course room, where on the right-hand side there's this little icon with dots for options, and you want to click on that and then click on Join Course Room. And as you join the course room, it will take us to a place where we can interact with a whiteboard and video chat and various other things. It's trying to set us up with a few things here. There I am. And so once it sets up your camera and microphone, you'll be able to meet with me in the virtual space here. Right now I'm the only one in the virtual office, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. But in order for us to meet during virtual office hours, you should send me an email or contact me through MyOpenMath, and we will arrange a time together to work during virtual office hours. If you click on the next link in the menu, you'll see the syllabus and the schedule. This is the syllabus document that you should read very carefully, and the weekly checklist document. So both of these will take you to another page. In particular, I want to show you the weekly checklist for a moment. The weekly checklist is a good way to keep track of where you are and what things you should be doing during the entire course. There's a table of contents at the beginning that you can actually click through. So if we're in the middle of the semester and you want to know how to get ready for exam number 2, you can click the link in the menu and it will take you directly to how to prepare for exam number 2. And you can see this is a document called a checklist because that's precisely what this is. You can check off the various things that you need to complete in order to be ready for the exams and other things. So I hope you'll take advantage of that document and use it to help stay on track throughout the course. You can also check your grades, and there are a lot of course tools that we won't actually be using much of in Blackboard because our main thing that we're going to be using is MyOpenMath. So I'm going to take you to that portion of the Blackboard menu. And this link will take you directly to a MyOpenMath login. And so if you click on this link, it will take you to our MyOpenMath page, and we'll go to that in just a minute. Here is information about MyOpenMath, so some more links with the course ID and the enrollment key. Here's what the page will look like in just a minute. And then there's a link to this video, or what will be this video very soon, and then some other information about MyOpenMath in case you need it. So let's actually go to MyOpenMath and take a look at what's there. I need to log out at first. So when you first go to myopenmath.com, you will see this page. And what you want to do, unless you have used MyOpenMath before, you'll want to click on Register as a new student. And you just fill in some basic information, a username, you choose a password, you enter your first and last names, and then some other things. Here's where you're going to need that information for the course ID and the enrollment key. Those are things that you should enter from the syllabus and from the Blackboard page, and then you can click Sign Up. Once you do that, you will be directed to log in. And when you click log in, you should see a page that looks like this. When you click on our course, Calc 1 2018 Fall, then you should see this page here. And you'll notice that everything that we're going to be covering this semester is listed there. There's another Start Here menu. There's a menu for weekly discussion forums, another block for potentially useful videos, and then all of the topics we're going to be covering throughout the course. Now, the way MyOpenMath is organized, it's organized into things called blocks. And each one of these little colored rectangles is called a block, and it has a little triangle next to it which allows you to expand or collapse the block. So for example, if I click on the triangle here, it will expand the block and will reveal everything that's inside the Start Here block. So there's another copy of the welcome video, the syllabus, the weekly checklist that I showed you just a few minutes ago. And then there's another block inside which I can open, which gives you a link to the textbook, to our online graphing calculator tool, and to some other tools that we're going to be using throughout the course. So notice that when you click on an arrow that's pointing down, you are expanding the block. When you click on this arrow that's already pointing down, you will collapse it. And so I can collapse these blocks back together. The weekly discussion forums, remember, are an important component of your grade. You can see right away that week 1 is available. And the purpose of the discussion forums is to give you an opportunity to ask questions of your classmates and of me. And it also gives you an opportunity to practice answering questions. Remember, for the exams and for the assignments, you'll be answering math questions. And so one way to practice that is to try answering the questions you'll see from your classmates. Another reason why the discussion forums are here is because there are a lot of people in our class, and even though I may not be working on math during the middle of the night on a Saturday, for example, maybe one of your classmates is, and if you post a question, somebody who's logged in at the same time or shortly after may be able to answer your question more quickly than I can answer it. So I'll be monitoring the forums. Your posts, you should be posting at least one question or one answer every week. And there's information in the syllabus about how to complete those discussion forums with full credit. There's another block here that says potentially useful videos. So There's the welcome video, and as the semester progresses, I will post other videos that I think will be helpful to you as you continue your work. And when you first log into MyOpenMath, probably the first thing you should be doing is going to Unit 1 and taking some time to review. Here's the link to the diagnostic tests that I mentioned in the welcome video. And then there's a group of sections that will help you review these general topics. So if you feel like you need some extra help with trigonometry, then you can click on that block, and there's a list of textbook links, there's a list of video lessons, and then you can, after you've spent some time reviewing that work, you can collapse that block and go to a different one, or you can engage with assignment number 1. Now, assignment number 1 is the first assignment that is part of your grade in the course, and so I'll click on that and show you how that looks. If you click on assignment number 1, this is what the assignments tend to look like. This one is particularly long. It has 29 questions in it. You can see that's the end, is 29 questions. And usually the assignments are going to be closer to 10 or 15 items, sometimes as many as 20, but because this is a review assignment, it's significantly longer. And you'll notice that the first few items are pretty easy, or at least I hope they are. So the first few items are really just to get you familiar with working with MyOpenMath. So this one, for example, it asks you to enter a number, just a plain old decimal, 94.7267. And you'll notice as you type something in, the number appears right next door, so you can see what it's going to look like. If you need to type special math symbols, you can click on the yellow up arrow, and that will allow you to create special math symbols, either trig functions or other kinds of functions that you may want to use. One thing that you should notice about MyOpenMath is that it works like a lot of other electronic homework systems in that when you get an answer wrong, it says enter the number that was just above rounded to the nearest hundredths. Let's say I answer that as 94.72, which is actually an incorrect answer. If I press submit, it will remind me that I haven't answered that third piece. And then when I go ahead and answer it, it tells me I got the first answer correct, I got the second answer wrong. But if I understand what I did wrong, I can correct that and press submit again. I still haven't answered all of them, but that's okay. And notice now it gives me credit for both of these parts. You can see within the bottom of this that it gives you 3 attempts. And if you do not answer all of them correctly within your first 3 attempts, and I'm going to say again, let's say I answer this incorrectly and I call it 0. When I press submit, it's going to tell me that my first 2 were correct and that my last one was incorrect. And then it will give me all the correct answers for that problem. Now, if I want to try this problem again for full credit, I can do that by just clicking on Try Another Similar Question, and then I'll get another chance at a very similar question. So that will be true throughout all of the homework and assignment items that you do throughout the course, and I encourage you to use that when you need to. There's also often going to be this Jump to Answer button or key, and notice it tells you that if you're going to jump to an answer, you have to generate a new version. So we'll say OK, then notice it will tell me all the answers down at the bottom, and I can still try another similar question. So you should have lots and lots of opportunities to do very well on these assignments and to earn very strong scores. And I hope you will take advantage of that and use the assignments as good learning opportunities. So with that, I'll go back to the main page. And I'll recommend that if you have any questions or concerns about anything you saw in the video, or things maybe you aren't sure about that I didn't yet show you, please send me an email or contact me somehow. And I wish you good luck as you start the course.